Collins brigade sort of happening right now.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, and it was stupid.
It's stupid.
Absolutely stupid.
He's been very good. But Lenny, just to get his name in the paper, and we picked up on it too, thinks that Howard Johnson should be brought in because he claims that Terry has lost the clubhouse without any.
How does he know?
Without any proof. So
they don't. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if the Mets let him in the clubhouse. First of all,
I don't think he
because is he or is he not a convicted felon? I'm pretty sure he is.
Well, yeah, he went to jail.
I know he was in prison.
Yeah, I don't know how they keep away stuff like that.
I would have to look up the charges, but I would assume that they involve tax fraud or tax evasion.
And something happened this past weekend with Matt Harvey. He pitched 5 innings or something.
I must have missed that. What happened?
Well, didn't he pitch only 5 innings?
He pitched 5 innings.
Yeah. So, and I'm like,
5 scoreless innings.
Yeah, 100 pitches. Okay, time to take him out.
Well, yeah,
but
he's recovering from surgery.
He was
still.
pitching well. I mean,
why don't you understand this?
I
you
do.
don't. You take him out before the trouble starts. When they get to a certain number of pitches, you take him out before the trouble starts. Do you remember, what was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago where he pitched the eight inning shutout ball, and he went to Terry in the dugout. Terry, you got to leave me in. I want to pitch tonight. I want the ball in the ninth. And Terry Collins said, all right, Matt, you're our guy. I don't think so. I don't think it's the right move, but you're determined, and I'm going to change my mind. Take the ball, Matt.
And
then it was single, double, oh, crap.
Okay.
And now we're screwed. That's what you don't allow to happen. And I'm not saying it's destined to happen, but this is why you have a bullpen. And, of course, you want Matt Harvey to be more economical and to be able to use his pitches more efficiently and maybe get through 7 innings as opposed to 5. And that's something that he's been struggling with this year. He's throwing a lot of pitches. He's nibbling too many corners, and he hasn't been overpowering. There's been maybe 1 or 2 starts where he has been, but for the most part, his starts have been somewhere between 4 and 6 innings.
Right.
And he's up around 100 pitches because his control is not where it needs to be, and he's struggled in that area. But 5 shutout innings. You hope that the bullpen isn't going to just get lit up like they did. I mean, they lost the lead 2 innings later.
Right.
Smoker, I think his name was. I mean, come on. You got to protect the lead.
I agree.
And I know the Mets bullpen has been overworked and whatever else, but you have to protect the lead.
Yeah,
your bullpen needs to be
reliable.
reliable.
Bullpen is not what they think. And Christy Ackert has a great article in today's Daily News about how, the next week or so, this is proving time for the Mets, and
it's a tough week coming up for the Mets. They got the Cubs coming in starting tonight, and then they have the Nationals for 4 games. That's a tough week.
I know, but
if the Mets can go, let's say the Mets go 5-2, and it's at home, so
right, that could happen.
You have to win at home,
right? But if
they go 5-2, and that's a nice little boost for them,
right? If they lose, especially since it's against the Nationals, but if they lose.
It would be nice if they could take 3 out of 4 against the Nationals. I still don't think they're going to catch the Nationals because that's a huge lead the Nationals have.
No, but they have to get back into the wild card run.
Yeah,
and they're not even close yet.
And right now the Cubs are struggling. The Cubs
Right.
Can't hit. Chris Bryant right now. We're 60 games into the season. Chris Bryant has 27 RBIs.
Not good. We're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC. I'm Rob Leonard. He's Tim Leonard. Tim, you're on Twitter at
Real Tim Leonard.
Hey, I just got a ticket from one of those red light cameras.
Good news. My show, Law You Should Know, can help you fight that.
My brother just got arrested for shoplifting.
My show has info about that, too.
My mom told me she's worried about whether she needs a will.
Law You Should Know can help her with that.
My cousin was hurt in a car accident. Can he sue?
Law You Should Know can help with that, too.
My uncle has some legal questions, but he doesn't think he can afford a lawyer.
Tell him to be sure to listen to Law You Should Know every Wednesday at 3 p.m. or Sunday at 7 a.m. for lots of free info about the law right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
This show is brought to you by BLI Summer Jam, coming to Northwell Health at Jones Beach Theater on Friday, June 16th. Starring Flo Rida, DNCE, Jason Derulo, special guest Miley Cyrus, Martin Garrix, Sean Paul, Clean Bandit, James Arthur, Noah Cyrus, Sabrina Carpenter, and Nick Tangora. For ticket information, visit WBLI.com.
Attention all Long Island residents. This is an important message. Please stand by.
You looking to learn more about Long Island?
Do you need to be informed about the current issues Long Island is having?
Do you want to learn more about what Long Island has to offer?
Yeah, you do.
Listen to My Hometown, where our student and community volunteer hosts explore clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues affecting Long Islanders like you and me. Listen for weekly interviews that shed light on the Long Island towns that are making a difference.
Covering Long Island head to toe, every inch, every mile.
Tune in every Thursday afternoon at 4 or Sunday evenings at 10 on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Hey, that's my job.
You snooze, you lose.
.3 WHPC.
But the Ace Frehley version?
It's Ace, baby. Actually, it's a cover of a song from the early 70s.
I know. That's why I asked.
I forgot who did the original, though. Big Ed, who did the original back in the New York Groove? Do you know? He doesn't know either. Right. So anyway, the Mets have to do good this week. It's a very tough week for them. We should say that in a recent auction, a pair of Converse...
Oh, we're going back to basketball.
Yeah, just quick. Well,
let the people know.
This isn't basketball. This is a story. A pair of Converse worn by Michael Jordan in the 1984 Olympic gold medal game were auctioned off for a record sum of more than $190,000.
Tell them why. Tell them why it was so special.
Well, it's special because they're not Nikes, and he signed a deal right afterwards with Nike, which turned out to be one of the great deals ever in sports.
Both for Nike and for Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it really made both of them.
Made Michael Jordan a very rich man. Also made Nike a very rich. Phil Knight made him a very rich man.
So the matter of fact, the game they won the gold medal. They won 96-65 over Spain.
Yes,
and Jordan led all scorers of that game with 20 points. So I'm surprised that Nike didn't buy it, and then burned them or something.
Why would they bother?
Because it's not Nike. But,
part of basketball history.
Yeah.
Probably was the last pair of non-Nikes that Jordan wore.
Yeah, and then, of course, during the 92 Olympics, they did that thing which they weren't wearing Nike clothes. What clothes was it? Adidas?
I don't remember.
But they put the American...
I think it was Adidas, yeah.
Yeah, they put the American flag over their shoulders.
Jordan put the flag over the Adidas logos or whatever logo it was because it wasn't Nike.
Right.
And by that point, he was the Nike guy by then.
Yeah.
So
but he wasn't the only Nike guy on that team.
No, there was a handful of them that did the same thing. But obviously with Jordan.
And what are you going to say? Well, you're being un-American by covering up your commercial sponsor
with the flag.
Yeah.
I don't think that was going to happen.
No. So I don't know. What else you want to talk about, brother? We've
Sebastian Telfair, brother. You got to mention that.
Okay.
Pulled over and arrested in Brooklyn. I think it was last night. And found with an arsenal of weapons in his car.
Okay.
You probably do remember Telfair as being a New York City schoolboy legend for Lincoln High School and the nephew of former Knicks guard Stephon Marbury. He played in the NBA from 2003 to 2014 and has been living down in Florida, Big Ed.
They all live in Florida.
And
Florida.
apparently was in New York, and I think Telfair's nephew, I believe, was in the car with him. But police found 4 guns in his trunk, a lot of ammunition, apparently two bags of marijuana as well, and also a lit joint. So Sebastian was charged with criminal possession of a weapon. He pleaded not guilty. Oh, but I was saying he was in New York because he and his wife are now separated. So he came back home for, I guess, I don't know, for whatever, but he says the guns are registered in Florida. Well, we know from others who have had similar situations that just because your guns are registered in another state, it doesn't mean anything in Florida. So Sebastian Telfair could be in a lot of trouble because of that. Bail was set at $75,000, so we'll have to see what happens with that in the near future. But not a good night for Sebastian Telfair.
That's why you get a good lawyer. But then again, if he's not playing, he might not have money for a good lawyer.
I would hope he has money after 11 years in the NBA, but you never know.
Who knows?
He might be calling Salino and Barnes one real soon.
Yeah, well, they're breaking up.
I know
so.
they're separated too.
Yeah. Of course, you have to figure out which one's Salino and which one's Barnes.
I don't know.
By the way, mini camps start this week in the NFL. The Giants and Jets are part of this. The Jets, let's be honest, they're just looking to blow this team up and start over.
I was having a conversation.
Will the Jets be 0-16? That's the question.
I was having a conversation with two New York Jets beat writers on Saturday. Having a conversation with friends of the show, Andy Vasquez and Kimberly Martin. That was at the 40th birthday celebration for my man Jeff Roberts.
Okay.
And I was getting into it with Kimberly about the Jets. And we couldn't figure out why the Jets. First of all, they released. I'm blanking on the linebacker's name. Who was the linebacker they released? The long.
I don't remember.
Oh, House, where are you? Oh, David Harris.
Okay.
Released him, and Mike McCagnon, the GM, more or less announced that the Jets were either going to trade or release wide receiver Eric Decker. Now, first of all, that's a stupid thing to do, because who's going to trade for a guy if they know you're going to release him? All the Jets are all they're going to get is a draft pick. So why? I mean, in theory, they could possibly get a fifth rounder. Now you're making it. If you say, well, we're going to release the guy, now you're lucky to get a seventh rounder. So, but what is the big rush to do this in June? The Jets are so far under the salary cap right now. Kimberly was telling me she is estimating, and this is just a guesstimate, that the Jets will have somewhere around $80 million to spend on free agents next season. So Jeff fans are going to have to deal with a really bad season this year. I don't think they're going to win more than 3 games. And Josh McCown is going to be a disaster at quarterback. He's going to get hurt, which means at some point Bryce Petty or Christian Hackenberg is going to be your starter. So now you're looking at getting a top draft pick to get a quarterback that you so desperately need, and you're going to have $80 million to spend on free agents. So Jet fans, deal with this lousy season that you're facing, because next year should be very good. But will McCagnon and Todd Bowles still be back? Will they be the guys to lead them back, or are the Jets going to start over again at GM and coach? That's the $1 million question right now.
It's funny because they're doing all this stuff so early in the preseason. Then last year they let the quarterback situation go so far into the preseason.
It festered.
And I think that's why
Definitely
they're doing
festered.
it. They're just saying, well, let's just dump as much as we can.
Yeah, and over in Giants camp, you have Odell Beckham Jr., who he hasn't said it in so many words, but the rumor is that he's looking for a new contract because he didn't report at all to OTAs, and those are optional, so he doesn't have to. But now with camp starting, is Odell Beckham Jr. going to actually show up now?
Sure,
we don't know. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
let's put it that way.
I think it's not going to be a fun year for the Jets. I be honest, I don't think it's going to be a fun year for the Giants.
I think the Giants will be fine. I think the Giants are going to be fun to watch.
They're going to be fun, but will they do anything?
I don't know.
Will it mean anything?
Well, I don't think they'll be better than Dallas, but I think the Giants are going to win about 11 games this year. I think they really need.
That should be a playoff team.
Well, they will be a playoff team, I think, because I think they have enough receiver depth that it's going to be a fun team to watch, and they'll win games.
That just about does it for From the Press Box. My name is Rob Leonard. That is Tim Leonard. Tim, you're on Twitter at
Real Tim Leonard.
We'll see you next week with more sports at every Monday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And, of course, the show will be up on Spreaker in a couple hours. Take care. Stay tuned to Big Ed and the oldies. Good gold. Take care.
Crank it up.
The opinions expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC, its management, or Nassau Community College.
Responsible opposing viewpoints will be considered by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu or by mail to WHPC 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York, 11530.
Thanks for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.